Welcome back, guys. Sicks10s. Today we're gonna get this axle all assembled. Now that it's all sitting here, all painted, I got the backing plate just resting on here. I have all the new hardware, new zinc grade 5, grade 8 bolts with locking nuts to hold the plates on. Got these pieces as cleaned up as best I can and painted them. That goes for this on the backing plate, and then this piece right here is the piece that goes on the front for the brake shoes. But I'm gonna get everything all set up, and it's time to get this thing put back together, and then get that. Get this chrome diff cover put on too. It's gonna look really good. Alright, as I'm putting this back together, there's still that one bolt that needs to go up there, so I need to keep these bolts down here kind of loose so you're able to move it a little bit to put this bolt in. Well, I guess it goes in through this way. And I'm still waiting on them to dry. As you've seen in the picture before, they're out here drying. I still need to flip them and paint them one more time. That's that turbo paint. Look at how wide of a path it does. That's psh, psh, that's it. Just 2 sprays. There's another path. A normal paint path is only like this. Crazy. That turbo paint is nuts. But I'm gonna try to kind of explain how the rear brakes on this get put back together as best as I can. And my hair is all messed up. And once I get this one side together, then I'm just gonna throw the other side together, and then get the chrome diff cover set up so I can get it all siliconed and gasketed, and then put the axles in, get it filled full of fluid, and then we're moving on to the frame. Get the old fuel cell out right there, and then put that red one in that's right there. So it ain't gonna get done just sitting here, so let's get to it. Alright, now that I have both backing plates on, and they look incredible. This axle looks really nice. I took the cover off of it. These other 2 gears fell out of the spot, which ain't very hard to put in. One goes right there, and then the other one goes right into there. But it's gonna be kind of hard to have the camera set up like right here and try to hold it and put the gears in. This thing's smooth. It has a number on it right here. It's 11 to 41. 1:1 GM. And then down into there, it's hard to see it. If I get a little bit closer. It also says 11-41 GM. And then there's a number 1. So they're matching. I mean, of course they gotta be. Otherwise they would not work together. But yeah, I'm gonna get this thing all assembled. The next time you guys see it, it'll be all put back together. And just like that, guys, it's back together. All 4 gears, the pin, the bolt, and the U-clips that hold the axles in. All back together. Let's see if I can spin this. Look at that. Now let's get the shoes all put back together with all the hardware. And I've already got the drums out here painting. Or should I say drying, not painting. I already painted them. They look real nice. I gotta shoot some paint on these. I already did flat black on one side. I gotta flip them and put another coat on. But I hope everyone is having a good day. It is such a beautiful weather out. It's 72 degrees in the garage. I like it. But they're calling for Sunday morning to be down in the low 30s, which would be frosty, and I don't want it to be in the 30s, but I guess it's I can take one day in the 30s. But everyone has seen drums, brakes put together, so I'm not going to film myself putting those together because that's just going to be boring, and I don't have to put too many beeps in there for me cursing out too many bad words, because drums, they're a pain in the butt, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do to get it done. But yeah, next time I like to show you guys, the axle should be completely put together and finished with the chrome diff, and I'll show you guys what that thing looks like. Well guys, it's the next day. I didn't get the axle done last night because I had to wait for paint to dry, and they got kind of late, almost like 10:30 by the time I was getting everything finished. But I'm going to show you kind of what I've gotten done. And if you notice, I am wearing a hoodie. It's me in some sun here. It's 50 degrees today, so not very warm, but hopefully it's supposed to get into at least 65, maybe 70 degrees today. But let me show you what I got done. I got this side pretty much all assembled with new wheel cylinder, pads, hardware, and stuff like that. I still have this arm that goes on those 2 springs, and then this spring that's for this, that's finally all nice and dry. But I need to go to the hardware store because the bolts for this are all kind of crowdy, and they're black. So I'm gonna go get some chrome bolts. They're sitting here. I had them sitting in here all night. Look how nasty that water is. I'll put some degreaser in here. So I gotta pull one of those out and go get 10 chrome bolts. But that's pretty much all I got done last night, was this side pretty much all assembled. And just like I said, I had to stop because this piece was still wet, and I don't like to touch things when they're still like tacky or anything. I want it to be nice and dry so I can handle it, and it's gonna look good sitting in there. And I can't, it's pretty much at a stopping point, so I can actually get this to go in behind here and turn and everything and get it put in. But I'm gonna run to the hardware store, get those bolts, maybe grab a bite to eat. And then there's also a bracket that goes right here that I got hanging right here, I painted. is for the rear brake line, which is right here. This mounts to that. But I'm going to get a new line because this side's just nasty. Doesn't look very good. Hose has cracks and pits in it. And I literally had to like destroy the ring that locks it down so I can get this bracket cleaned up and get it welded onto the frame somewhere over on that side. But the goal for today, and I like setting goals, is to get the axle completely done with the drums on it, the brake lines, and everything done. Maybe besides this line, this will be the last thing that goes on. And then start wire wheeling my frame and grinding on it to get all the welds and stuff kind of like bring the welds down a little bit, because I got a spot right here, an old bracket right there. I need to grind all this down. That's what I was trying to say. It was kind of hard to describe it, but yeah, I had the brackets, these ones, on the outside at first, but running the brackets on the outside, my 4-link ran about right here to the frame, and with it running right here, I put my tire was about right here, so it was inches from touching my tire, so I had to put it on the inside where it is right now. Still a lot of work to do. I'm going to hopefully try to get it done before the ice cream cruise, which shouldn't be a problem because it's just the back half. The modifications I got to really do to it is cut out that rear frame for the fuel cell, because I want to put that bigger fuel cell in it that's sitting right there, that red one. This chrome one's a 5-gallon, the red one's a 15-gallon. I want to get something bigger in it so I ain't having to stop at gas stations very much. And then, yeah, get the new fuel cell welded in, get everything rewired back up with the air compressors and my tank, get the frame all nice and cleaned up and painted, and then start working on this box. This box is probably one of the biggest headaches that I'm gonna have to deal with the fender work right here, and then this bedside. Try to get it straightened up. This is all boogered up right here because it's broken so many times and this thing just flaps. It gets a little annoying. But make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Remember, guys, if you're watching the video, you might as well hit that subscribe button. It's free, it doesn't cost nothing, and it just keeps you updated on the work that I've been doing on my trucks. And if you guys have a YouTube, I will subscribe to your guys' YouTube as well. And every single time someone does subscribe to me, I do check it out, and if they have videos on it, then I subscribe. But I'm gonna get to this because I mean it's not gonna get itself done. So let's get to it. Alright, now I got this side all put together. Everything is completely brand new. Everything's all nice and tight. It moves a little, what you want. Brand spanking new adjuster. Now all I got to do on this side is put the drum on it and adjust this thing out so it barely starts rubbing, and then it'll be good to go. The only thing I gotta do is the other side, and the other side I'm going to try to show you guys on how everything gets set up now that I'm all refreshed with this side. Alright, the first thing I like to do is lay everything out how it's going to go on the truck. I have to spread it apart a little bit more, and these always have a mark on them. L for left side, which would be the driver's side, and the other side had an R on it for the right side, passenger side. And always remember that it always goes with the shoe and the adjuster is always facing down. I like to lay everything out. This spring will go over here. This spring is up here. This spring's right here. Here's the adjuster with this side facing this way because the little ridges has to be able to stop right there. Here's the bottom spring that connects the two together. Here's a little arm that connects to that little peg. Cap for this side. Pin for this side. My little arm, which is still sitting over there on the table. And the cap and spring for this side. The retainer. The spring that goes right here. And my pin. And that little bar where the spring goes onto. Now it's all got to go onto there. So I'll see if I can get you guys set up so you can see everything and some light on the situation, and we'll be right back. Alright, I think this is going to be the best way to get you guys set up so you can see everything that's going on. Alright, the first thing I like to do is take my little tiny pair of vice grips and get them opened up so you can hold on to this little retainer. Not too tight, but still enough that it's going to hold real good. Now you want to take your first shoe and put this pin in the back and then line it up through this hole right here. And this is where you have to pretty much hold everything with two hands. And then you put your spring on, and then you take these this little pair of vice grips, push, aim for the slot, and then twist. And then once you got that on, you can release it, and that's what's going to hold this shoe on. And it's going to stay right there. Get it all moved in the spot so it stays right there. And then the next one's the same way. Pin goes through this hole. And there's only 2 holes on the back of this, so there's only 2 spots to put pins, so there's not like no different holes. And then you line this shoe up with that hole. And this one is a little bit more difficult. See if I can get a better angle here. So you gotta get everything lined up. And this one's a little bit harder because you have to be able to put this arm and the spring and this little cup all together and put onto the brake shoe. See if I can show you here. So it clips, so everything holds together right here. So it gives this room to move. But I gotta set the camera down so I can get this thing set up, so give me 1 second. Alright, let's see if we can get this on here now. Got my little retainer clipped into my small vice grips. One reason why I keep saying small vice grips, because eventually down the line I got big vice grips for the bigger springs. Because these things ain't, I mean, they'll grab a hold of the bigger spring, but you don't got enough grip. These ones, you got some grip to it. Yeah, you use those thumbs. And you don't have to worry about lining up the pads or anything too much right now. It's more of getting these things snapped in here and then release. And then while the spring's holding it, you're able to move it and put it exactly where you want it. It's right there and right there. Next thing, I gotta get this bottom spring in. This one right here. I believe it goes over the short, under the long. Move this arm out of the way so I can see. This is where those vice grips come in handy. Snap them. Now that the spring's in there, it's kind of holding both shoes together. I'm gonna put this adjuster in. I always make sure everything is adjusted all the way down, because now I got to try to stretch this adjuster out where the spring is. Woo! Alright, I got it back together. It's still here. Yeah, everything might start looking funky, but it'll go back into shape. Alright, let's get this in here. There we go. Alright, now we use this blue spring. The head of it goes down towards the small part, and then this sets up like this, and then you pull this down till, I guess I need my spring on here first. This would be the arm that connects onto that. It goes up here, behind here. And then you get the big vice grips out again. Clamp onto a piece of it. Ooh, I want to make sure you guys see it. I don't know how well you can see it from over there. And then you need to, before you pull on it like I was just doing, you need to pull this out. Spring came flying out, which is fine. It'll probably make it easier for me then. There we go. Now it's all getting back together. Alright, all we got left is this short white spring. As you notice, the paint's all coming off it because it is used. And then this blue spring. And then this shock strut. So we're going to get the strut in first, and then we're going to get the springs in. Blue spring goes on up here. If I can get this on and slide that back. Grab the big vice grips. I'll turn these. Tighten them up. Grab onto it. Everything's gonna move with it. Let's see if I can get it. These springs are very tight. Oh yeah. Got it and lost you guys. Let's get you guys set back up here. Yeah, it takes a lot to get those springs put on. Man. There we go. We're back and better than ever. Maybe. Still kind of falling over. It was a hard hit. Alright. This shoe is gotta come down far. There we go. Alright, now one more spring. Be this white one. I'm just gonna go up here in the furthest hole away. And then it's gonna hook onto this. Now if you notice why the paint's all coming off, because my old wheel bearing that was on this side blew the wheel piston out of this side, and it shot brake fluid, and brake fluid eats paint. We get these vice grips again. Clamp it on. Alright, see if I can do this without losing you guys this time. Because this one's even harder, I feel like. Oh. Everyone always tells me, just use a flathead screwdriver. Yeah, until it goes flying and you can't find that spring again. Let's see. Nope, I lost you guys. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright guys, I got it on. I couldn't use the vice grips. I had to do the old flathead screwdriver technique. Put the edge of the screwdriver on the end right here and just pull it straight down, and it went snap right on. I did make sure I had my safety glasses on though, because if you get that kind of spring come flying at you, that's the last thing you need. But it's all assembled. All brand new. I mean, that don't look brand new, but I'm not going to sand down a spring and repaint it. That's ridiculous. But yep, all back together. Now, I got the paint for the bolts, because I went to the hardware store and holy cow, like $3.49 a bolt that didn't have no flanges on it, so I'd have to buy washers, and washers were like $1.25 a washer for chrome washers. I would have been into 10 bolts and 10 washers for about 20 bucks. Now I'm good. I'm just gonna paint mine. So I got this like forest green gloss. I already hit it with one coat. It's kind of what it looks like, just real dark green. And y'all probably asking, why green? Well, I got green spider webs, green blow off valve, green header wrap. I painted my tank green. I was thinking about maybe two-toning it and doing black up here and then doing green down here, because I do want to do a zombie theme to this truck, because I got my shifter knob in here that's a zombie hand. And this is green, my little glass mushroom. But I want to name the truck Bub, from the Day of the Dead. He was the intelligent military zombie that knew how to use a gun, knew how to make a phone call, and knew how to shave. Like, was just more intelligent than all the rest of the zombies. And I thought that would be a cool little theme for this truck, and have it be a zombie theme. Maybe put some ripped up cloth as a headliner or something like that. But the fuel cell, this is something I really want to do. The fuel cell is already red. I want to wrap it so it looks like a brain. And then I'll say that it's a brain cell. And I think it'll look really cool with like a pinkish red brain cells all over it. Just make it look all like a brain. I'll try to put a picture in of an image of the brain of what I want it to look like a cartoon looking brain. I think it'll look really cool being able to call it a brain cell, because it's a fuel cell and it's, looks like a brain. But yeah, I have a lot of work right here to do. I still need to get new bushings for these, because these bushings got all tore up. I should just take them apart and take them to work and order some new ones. Get these cleaned up, maybe get these painted green. I was thinking about that too, because these will look cool green. And then there's my bags. I used Air Max. Same thing with my air compressors, they're Air Max. But I was actually planning on switching over to, what is it called, Var Air or Van Air, something like that. I'd have to research it again and get a couple of dual air compressors from them, because they seem like they're a pretty good air compressor. I haven't had a problem with Air Max, besides my old one keeps throwing a bad fuse, keeps tripping a bad fuse every time, ever since I put the new air compressor in. So someone told me to check the chuck valve, the one-way valve. Maybe it's leaking and making pressure go back into the air compressor, which is putting more uh what's it called, more torque, or more load down on the electrical of it, and that's why it keeps blowing the fuse. But that's future down the line. I'm happy that this is pretty much all back together. Once those bolts dry, all I gotta do is just put them in. I got these drill bits holding it in. It's already like glued, like I already siliconed it and everything. So I just gotta put the bolts in, tighten it up, wipe it down, put the brake drums on it, which are right here, all ready to go, nice and shiny. And then I'm ready to start working on this frame. I gotta drain the gas out of the fuel cell and get it all cut out and get ready to start mounting up the new one. And as soon as I get all of it all mounted up, then I can get it all sanded down and painted. But I think this is where this video is going to end. It's already going to take me, well, I can't really say 2 days, more like 2 weeks to get this axle painted, cleaned up, ready, and put back all together. And it's not even completely done. I still have brake lines to do. It's never ending, but that's why it's a project. But I hope everyone is having a good day. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Here's the axle all completely put together. I put the old rubber hose back on just to see on how all this matched up. But I already ordered another one from Rock Auto. Man, make sure you guys smash that like button because this thing looks freaking awesome. I am proud of myself. I'm happy that it looks the way it does. Now I just got to fill it full of fluid and then start working on the actual truck itself so I can get this beauty up underneath this beauty. But yeah, it's always fun doing this. You guys have a good day. See ya on the next sicks10s.